Okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everybody. Okay, let's start our discussion or class this morning. Okay, so let's just review back what we have discussed last week, and not last week, the week before last week. Okay, so before we start, let's say Al-Fatihah. Kitab. Bismillah. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Okay. Okay, before we proceed to our new topic this session, okay, let's just review few things that we have discussed in our last class. Okay, about what have we discussed on class. Okay, that means a definition of class and how to declare. There are different types of methods that we can declare. Okay, mutator, assessor, retriever. Okay, and then different types of constructors. And then apa lagi method untuk print dan all the methods that are necessary to declare for a class. Okay, and then okay, if all of you don't have any question, okay, on what we have discussed on define your own class. Okay, now we are going to proceed with another concept of object-oriented programming. That is a very important concept. Okay, remember previously the basic concept of object-oriented programming, that means encapsulation, kan? Okay, you have learned how to encapsulate together the data and also the operation, okay, the methods of an object in a class. So that is to discuss to make sure the concept of information hiding. That means what is the concept of information hiding? That means you some of the data and methods that you declare as private, and that means it only can be seen by the creator of the class. Okay, if you declare it as a private, the access type as private, that means the rest of the world cannot access it, okay, directly. So it must be the manipulation of data can only be done through the methods that you declare as public. Okay, that is the concept of information hiding. That means, and then you encapsulate together in a class. Okay, and then the second concept of object-oriented is very important also is method overloading. That means we overload the method. What does it mean by method overloading? Is that sometimes maybe you have seen some of the class, you have seen that there are more than one methods that has the same name. Okay, for yang the basic is that you boleh nampak constructor tu kan, ada different types of constructor. Terus you have a default constructor, normal constructor, and then copy constructor. But besides the constructor, other methods also can be overloaded. Okay, meaning that if the name of the method remains common, that means the same, but the difference is that the number and type of parameters for that method. Dia bukanlah exactly all the same, but nama dia sama. The name of the method is the same. Okay, but each method has its own parameter, and the parameter maybe has different data type. Okay, so the difference is that the number and type of parameters. So this is called method overloading in Java. Okay, that means you can define different methods in the same class with the same name, okay, but different parameters, different number of parameters, different type of parameters. So ini salah satu konsep yang penting juga dalam object oriented programming. Okay, so let's see example. Can you see this ni apa yang saya share ni? Boleh nampak jelas ke? I make it bigger. Okay.
Jelas.
Okay, class overloading. Okay, and then for example, in the main, this is just from the main function, you declare an object from this from this class function overload is to demonstrate the concept of function overloading, and then you call here there are three statements of calling add methods. Okay, the first statement here is that we call object object and then method add, but here the parameter is of type integer. The first one type integer kan, and then the second calling of method add, dia punya parameter different. This is not integer, this is a string kan, string. Okay, and then the third call for method add, the data type is of type floating point numbers, not integer. So different types of the parameter that is being passed to the same name, to the method that has the same name. So okay, actually, okay, in the class class function overload ni, okay, in class function overload, it has three different definition for method add. Okay. So you can see this is the first definition of method add. This is the second one, and this is the third definition. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3. Okay, all has the same name. Nama dia sama. Okay, add. But the difference is that parameter dia. Okay, so the first method add, it has 3 parameters. Okay, ada 3 parameters, and all the parameters has data type of integer, int. Okay, so this is the definition of first method add, and then it has another method with the same name, overload that method add, but now the parameter is different, of type double. It has only 2 parameter and of type double. Okay, and in the body of the method tu dia punya proses lah, dia nak buat apa kan. Okay, and dia nak add lah sebenarnya. So the third one, it has 2 parameters of type string. Okay, but you can see semua nama dia sama. Nama method tu sama dalam kelas ni. Add. The difference is that the parameter. Okay. Any question so far? So dalam method yang pertama, in the first method, it want to add all 3 parameters lah to get the summation of all 3 parameters, A plus B plus C, and get the sum, and then print out the sum. Okay, in the second method add, it add these 2 parameter A and B of type double, get the sum, sama juga dia print. Okay, and the third one is type string. Okay, method parameter dia of type string. Okay, and then it concatenate these 2 string together. Okay, jadi these are the example of illustration of function overloading or method overloading lah, function or method, method overloading. So what is method overloading? If you see in the same class, there are more than one methods that have the same name. But dia punya number of parameters dengan type tu tak boleh sama lah. Tak boleh exactly the same. Dia mesti berbeza dari segi bilangan, the number of parameters, and also the data type tu of the parameters. Jadi itu concept overload. So whenever you call the method add tu, how does the compiler know which method add will be called? Kan? That means dia akan execute which method add. Sebab semua nama sama. So the compiler will see the parameter lah that is being passed to the method. If the parameter that is being passed, the value that will be passed as a parameter to the method is of type integer, so it will call the first method. Okay. So the second call from the main here, the second call ni, dia pass string. So compiler akan pergi mana? Dia akan tengok yang bawah lah. Kan? Okay, that means compiler akan, bila this method ni, this call, dia akan invoke this one. Okay. Yang the first call, this one, dia akan invoke this method. And last call, dia akan invoke the second method add. So dia akan, the compiler will look into the parameter that is, the value that is being passed to the method. So that determines which method will be invoked and executed. Okay. So that is one example lah. Kan? And then reserve word this. Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe you have come across some example of the coding program that use this keyword or reserve word this, THIS. So this refer to what? Okay, so the reserve word this is called as a self-referencing pointer. So bila you nampak this tu, that means dia refer kepada siapa? Kepada diri objek yang memanggil tu, because it refers to an object from the object's method. Okay, let's see this example. How does the reserve word this is being used to call a method of the receiving object? Okay, in this method, ini method add, method add. Okay, it receive as a parameter, one parameter, frac, FRAC of type fraction. Okay, there's ADT fraction. So it will return from the method header ni, you know that it will receive one parameter of type fraction, and then it will return, ini return type dia lah, return type dia pun fraction juga. That means after executing this method, it will return an object of type fraction. Okay, so here you see in this example is to illustrate the reserve word this. Okay, so you see A equal this dot get numerator. Okay, that means fraction kan. Fraction ni dia ada numerator dengan denominator, yang bahagian atas dengan bawah of fraction. So so this will refer to which one? Okay, here dia pass as parameter frac ni kan, FRAC. And then nanti the sum ni ialah the one that dia akan return back lah. Return from the method. Yang ni dia receive, frac receive. Sum ni dia akan return back to the calling environment. So this dot get numerator actually refer to frac ke? Is it referring to this red, or is it referring to object sum? Okay, so here, okay, get the receiving this, you nampak this, so which one dia refer kepada yang sum ke yang frac? Okay, rasa apa? Okay, let's go back to the definition tadi ni. Okay, so reserved word this is called a self-referencing pointer because it refers to an object from the object's method. Okay, so this in this example, it shows the uses of this to call a method of the receiving object. Okay, that means let's see here. Okay, kalau di sini kita jelaslah ya kan, yang bawah yang C ni dia ambil frac yang daripada frac ni kan. Okay, this one D pun sama juga, dia ambil daripada get the fracs numerator and denominator. Okay, here, okay, let's see. Okay, this dot get numerator and this get numerator and get denominator. It will get the receiving objects numerator and denominator. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe kita illustrate lagi, tengok lagi example lagi satu. Okay. Here. Okay, it can be used to refer to a data member as well. Sometimes dalam definition method in a class kan, you want to refer to the data member of the class itself, of the object itself. So you can use the keyword or reserve word this. For example, here class person. Okay, we have one data member of nama dia age. Okay, that will refer to the age of the person of type data type integer. Okay, in the method set age, for example, you want to assign the value of age of the person. Okay, from whatever that is being passed through the parameter. Contohnya nanti dari main you hantarkan value kan to set the age of the person. Okay, and then here when you use this dot age here, this here dalam method ni, this dot age will refer to the data member yang daripada class person tadi ni. Jadi yang this yang the second age ni, yang ni is from the parameter kan. Whatever value that is being passed through the parameter will be get here will be use age. So this dot age ni is referring to the data member of the object. Okay. Okay, this is another example of using the keyword this. Okay, let's see another example here. To call a constructor from another constructor of the same class. Okay, we use the reserved word this. It means you want to call a constructor from another constructor of the same class. Okay, for example, here we have, okay, ada berapa constructor ni ada. Okay, dia ada this default constructor. Okay, this is a normal constructor to create the number, and then this is the copy constructor. Okay, and here the word reserved word this is being used in this constructor. So this ni refer to which one? And that means you want to call a constructor from another constructor of the same class. So that means when you call this, and this dia tak ada dot something lah, you panggil this 0.1. That means dia akan panggil yang mana? That means dia akan panggil method constructor tu lah. That means the constructor itself. This one creates number 1. That means dia akan create lah, yang dia akan referring to the data member of this class fraction ni. Dia akan assign the number as 1. And copy constructor ni dia macam akan copy lah from one object to another object of the same class. Okay, so here dia gunakan this. That means this ni referring to dia akan panggil constructor daripada class itself. Yang ini ialah yang dia panggil daripada parameter ni kan, frac ni. Okay, but this ni refer to the other constructor of the same class. That means dia akan panggil constructor. Okay, here, yang ni tak ada, dalam ni tak ada method. Okay, jadi there are 3 ways to use keyword or reserve word this, and usually, mostly yang selalu the most common use that is being done is that you use the reserve word this to refer to the data member. Ini yang biasanya lah, sebab you tak nak confuse kan. So selalunya kita guna yang inilah. That means this example 2 ni, where the word this is to refer to the data member. Sebab kalau contohnya kalau katalah saya, okay, if I don't use word this ni, kalau tak ada word this ni, that means saya assign age kepada age. So actually nanti you confuse, yang age ni refer kepada age mana, this age refer kepada mana kan. That means you want to differentiate these two ni lah, sebab the data member pun age juga, dia punya parameter ni pun, argument pun age juga. So which one, which is which kan. Jadi to make it clearer, so that's why dia guna this ni. Dia guna word this ni, so that this indicate yang age ni, this age indicate yang data member. Yang ini, this one is the parameter kan, argument tu. Ni kalau you guna the same name. Sebab tu it is advisable to use different identifier. Contohnya to make it padam dulu ni. Usually to make it clearer, you gunakan nama yang berbeza kat sini kan. Mungkin you namakan apa, whatever lah. Let's see. Okay, katalah saya guna umur. So kalau you gunakan yang berbeza kan, jadi ini ialah you gunalah word umur kan. Jadi you gunakan different identifier, different variables, so that it's easier. You know, oh okay, this is the parameter and this is the apa ni, the data member. So kalau nama berbeza, you tak payah guna this lah. Sebab you akan clearly identify that this age is the data member and this is the apa ni, parameter or argument. Okay, so that is the word this. Okay, this okay, object as parameter. Okay, sometimes you want to pass an object as a parameter to the method kan. So macam biasalah, yang biasa yang you tengok string kan. String actually, kelas string ni So you have an object of class string. So you pass the string as an object to the method. And dalam contoh yang print ni, and that means ini class, so ini object. So you pass as a parameter. Okay, this is another example. Okay, let's see. Dia pass object, meaning you pass a string, object string to the method print as a parameter. Okay, if you still remember last semester kan you learn programming concept kan, apa ni, programming 1 and programming 2. Okay, so in the calling environment, kan ini from the main ni, from the main, you kata ini adalah calling environment dia. That means from where you call the method, kan? So from where you call the method, that is the calling environment. This is the method lah, ini atas dia method ni. So daripada calling environment ni, daripada sini, mana yang dia panggil method print? Kan, you can see here, op. Okay, where is op? Op is an object. So object of dot print, dia punya object, call the method kan, and pass the object, object string ni as a parameter. So here dalam calling environment, kita panggil ni apa ni? What does we call this parameter? Dia kita bezakan kan, ini in the calling environment kita panggil ni apa? Actual parameter kan. And here, parameter yang menerima ni, bila you panggil message, this message ni akan dipas ke sini kan. Okay, akan dipas ke ST. So, yang ini, this one is the, yang message di sini, bila you panggil, this is called what? Actual parameter. From where the method is being called. Itu adalah actual parameter. Kan? Okay, but here, up above in the method where the receiver yang receive tu, parameter yang menerima value yang you pass tu, itu kita panggil apa? Formal parameter kan, or argument parameter, or some books or reference dia kata arguments, right? Arguments, parameter or argument. So this one dekat the environment where you call the method, it is apa dipanggil actual parameter, the actual value that is being passed to the method. So the receiver in the method tu, okay, the parameter tu kita panggil formal parameter. Okay, so far any question? Hopefully you can follow. Okay, another example here. Okay, passing ini pun passing. Okay, here my point. My point is, okay, this is parameter of class my point. Okay, so, mana dia panggil dia? Oh, okay, here. Palm.print. Right? So, okay, ini sebab dia tak ada parameter lah. Ini kosong kan, default kan. So, dia hanya invoke, dia akan panggil method my print here. Okay, and then the second call pun dia akan ini second call selepas dia assign. Okay, palm.x and palm.y, that means this object PARM ni is of class my point lah. So my point tu dia ada dua class my point ni dia ada dua data member X and Y. Okay, so that means it will invoke the method and execute whatever the body of the method ni lah. Okay, this is example 2. Okay. Oh, okay. This is from the main. From the main, it declares object PT of class my point. And then it call method print sini sama pt.print, and another one it call after dia pass ini statement ni dia pass pt as a parameter. Okay, that means dia pass the object of point tu as a parameter to this method twice. Okay, that is passing as passing object as a parameter, and this is still under object as parameter. So instead of for example previously last apa ni semester you pass just katalah fundamental data type, you pass integer, you pass double ke float, or you pass character kan. Okay, but now an object also can be passed as a parameter. Okay, whether to the methods. Pergilah, pergi sana. Search lah tu. Okay. Oh, ini panjang dia punya. Okay, let's see. I think I have given you, you can open this file kan, saya ada bagi dalam in WhatsApp group. Okay, if it's hard for you to see it on the screen, you can try to open the file at your laptop or computer. Okay, let's see this example. It has class circle where it has two parameter, sorry, bukan parameter. It has two data member, which is radius of type double and the name as the circle name as type string. Okay, and then it has, this is the constructor, this is the constructor, and this is to get number of objects, return get area, this is to calculate the radius, set data, get radius, get name. Okay, that is the class, apa ni tadi, class circle. Okay, and then we have class test circle. This is where from the main program where you want to test the class circle just now by passing objects to the methods. Okay, so in this main method, we declare two objects, circle 1 and circle 2, with its own initial value. Okay, circle 1 has initial value 10 and Abu, the name of the circle. And then circle 2 has value 2 and John as the value for its data member. And then here, what does it do? It call get name and get area to get the name and area of the circle of circle 1. And here is calling get name and get area for circle 2. And then this is, okay, the last statement here is to illustrate how you can invoke the method by passing object. Circle 2. That means you call circle 1 and you call method big radius and you pass object of circle 2. So what happened? Circle 2 big radius cuba tengok method big radius kat atas tu. Big radius. Okay. Nampak di sini? So in the formal parameter dia, okay, yang tadi actual parameter kat bawah tu kan. Okay, that means semasa actual parameter, kita panggil big radius tadi, circle 1 dot big radius and pass circle 2. So circle 2 will be passed as the object as a parameter, okay, ke dalam circle 1. Okay, so here C will refer to the circle 2 punya radius, get radius, and this, okay, this ni refer ke circle 1 ke circle 2? Two, okay. Let's see. Sekarang ni, so this actually sebab Yang memanggil tu ialah circle 1 kan? Circle dekat main tadi. Dekat main tadi circle 1. Ni circle 1 dot big radius. Kita pass parameter circle 2. So circle 2 ialah yang pass dia akan represented by C. Okay, by C yang ni. Ni circle 2. Okay. So this here, this dot radius is referring actually to the circle 1 punya radius. Sebab circle 1 yang memanggil method big radius tadi. So this tu refer kepada circle 1 punya radius. Yang ini ialah circle 2, C dot get radius. So that means dia compare circle 2 ni tadi kan kita pass daripada main ialah circle C2 kan. So circle 2 punya radius will be compare with circle 1 punya radius. That means dia compare lah, adakah radius circle 2 ni lebih besar, bigger than radius of circle 1. So if this condition is true, so dia akan buatlah, dia akan print this one. Else dia akan print, that means which one has the bigger radius lah. That means this is to illustrate of gunakan this dan juga passing object as the parameter. Okay, ini salah satu cara jugalah. That means you can pass the object as the parameter. Okay, here. Okay. Any questions so far before we proceed? Object as method type. Tadi kita pass as parameter. Now, as a method type ni meaning return type dia lah. Okay. That means ini nama objek. This is return type dia is an object. We want to return an object of whatever type yang kita dah declare lah. Di sini dia gunakan student. Okay. Where parameter dia pun dia hantar objek juga. Objek student, student 1 dengan student 2. Dan dia akan return object of type student juga. That means object as method type, meaning the returning value. So ni akan return kepada from where the calling environment. Daripada mana-mana lah yang panggil method determine highest ni, it will return an object of type student. Okay, that means nampak dia return whether return student 1 or return student 2. That means dia akan compare score daripada kedua-dua student tadi, siapa yang got the highest score from student 1 and student 2. So student with the highest score will be written as the return object from this method. Okay, so that is object as a method type. Okay, ini pun array. I think you have learn array. Dah belajar array kan? Previous in your programming 2. Ada belajar array? Ada kan?
Array, struct.
Okay. So it's the same lah dalam you belajar tu guna C++. Actually dalam Java pun sama juga. It's the same how to use to declare an array. Okay, that means mesti ada contoh ni. This is to refer to the element of the array, okay, by using the square bracket tu lah. Kalau you nak refer kepada array tu kena guna square bracket tu kan. Ya, kalau you tengok macam ni, you know. So what is a number ni? This parameter number is an array. It's not integer biasa. It's not integer, but it is an array of integers. Okay, that means you pass as parameter. You pass the array as parameter. You nampak square bracket ni kan di hadapan identifier dia, parameter ni. So this, you know that this is an array. Actually, you boleh imagine, dia bukan kalau array kan, you ingat dia mesti, okay, katalah saya lukis array kan, dia is a sequence, it is a sequence of elements kan, ada banyak elements kan. Berapalah sampai n, start from 0 until n minus 1 kalau size dia n lah kan. So when you pass this array as a parameter, adakah dia akan You imagine dia ambil array tu, macam all this array ni, adakah dia akan ambil all this array ni dan paskan ke parameter ni? Is it like that? Okay. Adakah dia akan macam-macam you pass integer kan? Kalau number ni is an integer biasa, it's not an array, that means what is being passed? The value kan, nilai. The value of that number. Yang ini, the value that will be passed to the method. But if it's an array, kalau saya pass macam ni, is a parameter, is it the whole array ni, semua ni, kan, semua ni akan dihantar kepada method ni?
I think yes, dia punya elemen tu.
Okay. Okay, thank you for a good try. Ada lagi yang nak jawab lain? Ada anybody else? Rasa you ada belajar kan saya rasa dalam programming tu juga passing array as parameters. Okay, just to review back lah. Okay, thank you siapa yang jawab tadi. Okay, actually when we pass an array as a parameter is not the element, bukan elemen ni kita hantar kepada array tu. No, katalah kalau you punya array ni 1000 ataupun 10,000 atau 1 million, maybe it consists of millions of data. So if you pass an array, adakah semua 1000 atau million of data tu is being passed? No, okay. No, actually what is being passed? Apa yang dihantar sebenarnya bila saya hantar array ni? Okay, saya declare array as parameter tu. Okay, tengok ni So, passing array as parameter to method, only its reference is passed. What does it means to reference to? A copy of the array is not created in the method. Dia bukan buat salinan tau. Dia bukan buat salinan. Actually dia cakap only is reference. What does it means by reference ni? Apa ni maksud ni? Big question mark ni.
Dia pointing pada array asalan tu kan?
Yes, correct. Pointing. That means apa dia? It points to the original array. Dia tak buat salinan tau. Macam kalau you pass integer biasa. Kalau katalah dia bukan array. Kalau you pass integer number je. That means kata daripada main you hantar number katalah 10 kan. Dia akan buat salinan. Dia akan buat salinan. So dalam method ni dia whatever modification apa-apa you buat ke atas number, it will effect only on the copy, salinan. Dia original tak berubah. Tapi when it is passed by reference, it will refer to the original array. Kan? To the original array. Tapi maksudnya pointing tu, pointing kepada apa?
Elemen dalam original array tu kan?
Okey, dia ada banyak. Katalah elements ni ada 1000. Which element? Kan, katalah array ni ada n, the size of n is 1000. So which element will be referred to? Anybody?
I think the whole thing.
Okay, good try. Ada lagi yang lain nak try jawab? Ada? So which one, apa yang akan dia point kepada apa tu sebenarnya? So, kita bukan pass the whole element, dia akan point. Okay, that's correct. You cakap dia akan point to the original array. But what is being pointed at? Dia point ke mana sebenarnya? Okay, the answer is that actually number ni kan, dalam parameter ni number is a reference. That means pointer is a pointer. Dia point kepada the address. Saya nak dengar tadi address. The address of the first element in the array. Okay, so the first element, every element dalam array ni kan semua sama je lah. Katalah objek kan, ada objek student ke, objek apa ke. So, setiap elemen ni size dia sama. Kalau ada 1000 elements lah. Tetapi when it said reference, this number is a reference to the address of the first element in the array. That means dia akan point kepada address. Saya nak dengar tadi jawapan address. Memang dia point kepada array tu. Tetapi which one? Dia tak point, it's not pointing kat tengah ke. Bukan. Dia tak point kepada last ke. Tak, ini pun bukan. It points to the address. Address. Okay. Points to the address. Address yang mana? Address of the first element. Okay, of the array. Sebab setiap elemen tu ada its own address kan? Ada its own address. So, dia point kepada address yang pertama. Why? Kenapa dia cakap address yang pertama? Sebab from there, sebab array kan dia sequence, in sequential order. Dia berturutan, berjujukkan. So, once you know the address of the first elements, it's easy to manipulate the rest of the elements of the array. Okay. Jadi, itulah maksudnya when we pass an array as a parameter, so it is actually, what does it do is that the parameter will refer to the address of the first element of the array. So whatever manipulation yang you ada dalam method ni, kalau you ada ubah ke, katalah you change the value of the elements ke apa, actually the actual value will be changed. Okay, sebab dia refer kepada original, dia tak ada buat salinan dalam method ni. So kalau you ubah tu, dia akan kekal lah. So whatever value yang you ubah, dia akan change at the actual value of the elements of the array. Okay, itu adalah array. Okay, array as object. Can use arrays to manipulate object. Jadi tadi kalau array ni array integer biasalah. Kalau you ada array of object, that means yang disimpan, that is being stored in the array objects. Okay, objects of any ADT lah that's you define. Okay, so the syntax is how to create the array name with a number of objects. Is that the same lah, sama juga, except that the data type, instead of fundamental data type, you mesti bubuh the class name lah. So kalau class, you guna class student ke, atau previously you ada class book ke, whatever lah, whatever class that object of that class that you want to store in the array. And then followed by the array name, and then new is the reserved word, and then followed by class name and the size of the array. So this is the syntax how to creating an array with number of objects. Okay, for example, okay, here, example, create array name array1 with n objects of type T. Okay, that means data type dia katalah T. So T square bracket ni. Okay, and then the name array1. Okay, new T, whatever the class name is, followed by n objects. That means the size of the object. Okay, and then for us to instantiate, to initialize the elements of the array, okay, we have to call the constructor lah of that class. That means bila you declare macam ni, maksudnya dia akan call the constructor dan initialize the array of that object. Okay, based on the above, okay, ini sama juga, to instantiate array. Okay, array of string objects. Okay, ini adalah array of strings. That means this name list, okay, this name list is an array of string. That means kalau kita lukis logically, string ni, string ni adalah, okay, ada berapa, whatever, 5 lah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So dia ada 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, ini name list, name list ni. So this is array of name list. Okay, of size 5. Okay, tapi value dia apa? The value is the string. Oh, alamak, hilang pula. Aduh, hai. Okay, that means it is an array of string. Means katalah dia tunjuk sini, dia akan, ini the first one, ini the second one, the third one, string yang pertama, Amanda Green. Okay, that means 0 ni dia akan point kepada string Amanda Green lah. Okay, yang ini kepada string VJ Aurora. This one is Sheila Man. The fourth one, oops. The first one is Rohit, and the last one is Mandy Johnson. Okay, that means ini is an array of string. Okay, array of string objects. That means yang disimpan dalam array itu ialah object of string. Tapi dia contain address lah, address of the array. Okay. Okay, ada kat bawah ni. Okay, here name list is the array that point to the first address of the first element in the array. Okay, is a reference. So nama array tu itself is a reference. The name of the array tadi kan kat atas ni dia declare name list ni kan, the name of the array. So the name of the array is a reference. Okay, reference inilah object tu. That means dia akan menunjuk kepada address. Whenever you said reference, it must point to an address. Okay, address of what? So array, because we deal with array, it points to the address of the first element in the array. So each element is an object string lah. That means dia point. Setiap satu tu pun is a reference. Setiap elemen tu is a reference. Meaning dia akan refer kepada apa? String Amanda Green, string BJ Aurora, string Sheila, string Rohit dan string Mandy. Okay. Jadi when you deal with array, actually you deal with the address and the actual value of that array. Okay. Array, this one, another one. Arrival time of clock. Okay, that means there ada 100 element. There are 100 elements in this array arrival time M. Okay, from 0 until 99, and each one is an object of clock. That means setiap satu tu dia contains whatever lah the data member of clock yang you declare untuk clock. Okay. Any questions so far?
So far, so good.
Okay, good. Instantiating array object. How to instantiate or initialize the array objects? Okay, macam tadi you kena deal dengan loop lah. Sebab array kan, you have many elements of the array. So usually we use a for loop to deal with the array so that we can traverse the array one by one from the first element until the last element of the array. Okay, and here dia panggil constructor lah of that class. Okay, because you want to each element dalam array ni semua objek ni dalam semua objek ni semua objek kan. So how to instantiate or initialize the object is by calling the constructor lah. So each element nampak dia new, that means whatever the data type is clock, so dia akan invoke the constructor of that class to initialize each element. So this element starting from J start from 0, start from the first element until whatever the length. Okay, there is one data member length. That means dia akan kira berapakah length array tersebut, what is the length of the array, and then traverse the array one by one from the first element until the last element of the array yang panjang dia lah. That means you can declare 100. Kadang length dia bukan 100. Length dia mungkin length of the array yang actual length, maybe you only store 50 or 70 kan. So dia akan initialize yang itulah. Okay. That is instantiating array objects. And then macam ni lah tadi. That means each member ni, each element of the array, dia akan instantiate semua. Oh, okay. Clock tu dia ada hour, min dengan second. Hour, minute dengan second lah. That means each object will be initialized to 0. The data member of each object. Okay. This one, another example. Ini dia nak set macam specific element lah of the array. So dia panggil set, whatever the set method from class clock tadi, and set the value of that element in the array. That means how to access is that by manipulating, ini kita panggil apa? Index kan? The index. Setiap satu ni, all these are, ni adalah index. Right? Index of the array. Okay.
Doktor, yang set time tu kan?
Aha.
Dot set time tu dapat mana? Method lah.
This one is a method lah. Maybe dia tak tunjuk lah. Tapi maybe dalam kelas, sebab ni kelas apa? Kelas clock kan? So here, dalam kelas clock ni. So dalam kelas clock ni ada method set time lah. So example, dia tak tunjuk detail kelas clock tu. Okay, dia ada, kalau dari sini kita tahu dalam kelas clock tu dia ada tiga data member. Hour, min, second. Nampak? Setiap satu dia ada tiga. Setiap satu ni, each element. Jadi when it calls the method, itu method lah. Method set time. Method set time. And kita because dia nak initialize the value by using the value yang dia determine itself lah. So dia pass as parameter. So set time ni is a method dalam kelas clock tadi, which you want to pass to initiate the value of each element. Katalah elemen yang ke-49, meaning elemen ke-49 ni ialah yang this one lah, index dia 49 sebab dia start dengan 0, meaning the 50th yang ke-50 kan, elemen yang ke-50, tetapi index dia ialah 49 sebab start with 0 kan. Okay, so kalau saya kata I want to set the time for the 10 element. So dia punya index ialah 9 lah. Kan? Elemen yang ke-10 tetapi index dia 9. Because start array. Array kan? Index of the array is that always start from 0. Nampak? The first element always start from 0. Start from 0. Okay. So ini tadi you tanya set time is a method lah dalam kelas clock to set the time. So dia akan set time yang index 49 ni. Index 49 ni. So dia akan set the time. The first one is hour, the second one is minute, and the third one is the second for this array member, element of the array. Okay, any other question? Oh, ini nested object pula. Before I proceed, tak ada okay so clear untuk array. Okay, this one is a composite object. That means nested. Okay, that means in an object it has another object. Okay, object dalam object. That means relationship dia kata has a, macam A has a B. That means relationship dia has a relationship where the declaration of an object is inside the other class or object as an attribute. Okay. Hmm. Okay, di sini dia ada 4 classes, dia kata. Okay. The first one is class date. Okay, class date has month, day, and year attributes there. Okay, and then it has the constructor, it has a method to set the data, set date, it has get month, method, get day, get year. Okay, to string. Okay, that is the first one. And the second one is class person. Class person has first name, last name as dia punya data member. And then ni constructor dia, kemudian ada method untuk output the first name and last name. Okay, this one to set the name. And then get first dengan get last. Okay, the third class is personal info. Okay, class personal info has, okay, nampak tak ni? Ni composite object. That means member of class info, dia bukan jenis integer ke float ke character, tetapi name is of type person. Yang class person kat atas tadi kan? Nampak tak? So this object ni kita panggil composite object. Dalam kelas ni ada kelas yang lain. That means bday is the date. Type dia apa? Date yang kita declare kat atas tadi kan. Kita ada kelas person tadi ni. So dalam method personal info, name is of type person and bday is of type date. Date yang mula-mula kita declare yang kelas yang pertama tadi, date kan. Ni kelas date ni, kelas date. So dalam dalam kelas personal info, okay, dia punya data member ialah object, an object itself. Name is an object from class person, bday is an object of class date. That means you can have this. Means so ini kita panggil apa ni, nested, composite. Tadi apa dia dekat atas tadi ni? Composite object. Composite object, that means nested. Dalam objek ada objek. Contohnya dalam objek personal info ada objek person dengan objek date. This is normal, biasa kalau sebab kita nak simpan value. Selalunya in real world data tu dia kompleks lah sikit, dia tak very simple aja macam tu. Okay, that means dalam kelas personal info ada another object yang lain. Okay, so dia ada constructor juga. Okay, constructor. And then constructor. Ini method to set. Ada dia. Set personal info. Okay, to set the personal info. And then method to string. Okay, so sama jugalah macam kalau kita nak deal object of person tu dalam this object personal info ni, sama macam mana you declare you nak access object. That means dia akan panggil constructor bila you declare a new object, and then dia akan panggil whatever method yang ada daripada kelas tersebut. Okay, contohnya di sini set personal info ni kan. So name objek dia daripada apa? Person tadi. So dalam kelas person ada set name. So dia nak set name dia. Dia panggil lah method set name. Sebab name is of type person tadi kan. Okay. So whatever method daripada kelas person dia boleh panggil. Okay. Manipulation dia sama juga macam kalau yang usual lah. Cuma sekarang ni dalam objek tu ada objek lain. So that's why dia kata dia punya relationship tu has a. Okay, so contohnya kelas personal info ni. So personal info has person, has a person, has a date. Okay, that means dia ada dalam satu kelas ada kelas yang lain. Okay. Ini dia punya application program lah, main dia. That means how to manipulate the object. That means tadi kalau dia declare daripada personal info macam ni, new student kan, new student daripada kelas personal info. That means new student ni, object new student has all this information lah. That means from yang tadi from person ada apa? Person ada first name dengan last name kan? Yang date ada apa? Hour, minute, second. So dia akan initialize whatever value yang akan di yang ini dia akan initialize lah guna value yang dihantar oleh parameter ni. Ini dia declare seorang aja. That means new student. So new student dot toString. New student akan panggil method toString dan ini akan print out the value of the new student. Okay. Oh, habis dah. Okay. So ada banyak juga yang kita belajar today. Okay, just to recap back, method overloading. This is one of the concept, the important concept in object-oriented programming, where kita kata when we said we overload the method, meaning we are declaring more than one method with the same name in the same class, except that what is the difference is the number and type of the parameter. Okay, that is method overloading. Okay, that means we overload the method. That is, and then how to use this to refer to the object. Okay, the key reserve word this, and also we have seen how we want to pass object as parameter to a method, and then pass to an array. Okay, and then we have object as method type. Okay, that means kita hantar ini sebagai that means the return type of the method is an object itself. Okay, next array. Okay, array. We can have an array of objects instead of an array of integer, an array of fundamental data type. Now, kita just specify that each element in the array can contain an object. Okay, can consist an object. The array, okay, the array elements are objects, not only the fundamental data type, but objects. Okay, that means we store an object as the elements of the array. So array of objects, how to declare an array of objects and what does it mean? It's a reference. When we said array itu sebenarnya the name of the array is a reference. A reference meaning it points to the address. Whenever we said reference, you must cling tick dekat you punya mind is that okay, actually it refers to the address. Kita tak kisahlah address dia apa, the actual address, tapi we know it will point to the address of the first element of the array. Okay, the name of the array is the pointer. That points is a reference, okay, that point to the address of the first element in the array. Okay, and then how to instantiate the array objects. Okay, and then nested object, that means you can declare an object has another object. Okay, that means composite object, nested object, and then this is the example. Okay, that is the last one lah. Okay, banyak tu. Okay, I think that's all lah for today. That's enough. Banyak sebab nanti you can I will give you some exercises for you to do during cuti ni ke apa. Yang penting siapkan your assignment because you have to hand in, okay, by before the due date tu, make sure jangan miss time dia. Okay, and then some exercises to demonstrate, to illustrate the concept of method overload. Okay, how to overload a method in a class. Okay, dan manipulation of object, manipulation of arrays and array of object and so forth. Okay, let's see, ataupun let's see, saya boleh try, let me see if I have sekejap ya. Saya cari kejap. Tunggu kejap. Saya cari dalam mana tadi? Butterfly. Okay. Let's see. Kita ambil yang 2019 ni lah. Baik. Okay, you tengok ni. Part A selalunya either multiple choice ke ataupun true false. Part A ni dia tanyalah your understanding of object-oriented programming. Okay, which characteristic of OP illustrate the code reusability and so forth. Nanti you boleh cubalah. Saya nak tengok method overloading. Semua part A. Okay. Ni part still part A, part B. Okay. Part B. Okay, dia bagi program fragment. Okay, ada class calculator. Ni dia punya constructor. Main. Okay, that means declare object 1, C1, C2, C3. Then print line, panggil calculate me. That means dia panggil method calculate ni, calculate me. Okay, daripada so state the type of the constructor. Apa jenis constructor ni? Is it a default constructor ke, atau is it a normal constructor ke, atau is it a copy constructor? Yang ni question 1A 1. What is that?
Copy kan?
Copy constructor. That's correct. How do you know it's a copy constructor? Because you tengok dalam dia punya parameter tu kan, that means dia pass parameter tu. Okay. Kemudian identify and write the statement that indicate the creation of object main. What is the output? Ini output. Saya nak cari yang soalan yang ada method overloading. Letak sini. Question 2. Pun soalan, okay, dia bagi kelas tourist dengan dia punya member, data member dia, tourist name, ID, country from, region, tourist type. Dia ada normal constructor, accessor, kemudian toString. Dan apa soalan dia? Oh, dia so define. Okay, that means you kena define normal constructor tu macam mana. Kemudian write a printer using method toString. Okay, you kena define the method. How it is being done. Kalau define tu maksudnya apa dia punya body of the method tu lah, dalam bagaimana, how, to answer the question how. Okay, and then tadi lagi belum ada soalan ini kelas dalam kelas tadilah, composite composite object kan. So ada kelas fitness trainer. Okay, data dia apa di sini? Name biasanya string tadi. Kemudian kelas personal. Oh, ini ialah konsep nanti kita akan belajar konsep inheritance. Kalau you tengok perkataan extend ni meaning kita inherit daripada kelas. Okay, dia ada kelas fitness. Kemudian dia declare kelas personal ni extend fitness trainer. Ini salah satu nanti konsep inheritance. Kita inherit daripada kelas yang lain. Okey, itu pun kita akan belajar lepas semester break nanti. Tak ada ke soalan tentang overloading ni? Define. Program fragment. Calculate and display. Ini composite juga lah, composite method kan. Okey, dia ada advertising. Dalam advertising ni company name. Television ni duration, social media, media type. Kan. And then calculate cost. Oh, dia nak calculate cost. Ni kena tengoklah dia bagi. Kalau cost will be calculated based on the duration and time slot. Terus yang company tu kena bayar. Tak nampak sini lagi. Belum ada lagi. Mungkin dalam ni tak ada. So dekat sini tak ada pasal method overloading. Okey, mungkin dalam nanti you carilah, you download, you pergi dekat apa ni? You pergi dekat yang exam paper library kan? Library punya online library tu you boleh access past semester exam question tu. You cuba download lah few semesters, cuba buatkan soalan yang ada. Macam ini satu pun banyak kan question yang bertanya tentang. That means you have to know lah the detail of program tu kan, classes and so forth. Okay. Any question? Kalau tak ada.
Ada doktor.
Ada?
Pasal assignment tu, saya nak tanya pasal analisis dengan design. Dua-dua tu untuk apa Saya tak faham.
Okay, let me see. Assignment. Okay. Okay. Kan? Phase ni ada markah phase 1 dengan 2. Analysis is okay. When given a problem to be solved, okay, you must analyze the problem first. Okay, you not directly do the coding, right? But what is macam nanti you later on actually you ada satu subjek you all semua computer science kan, degree computer science, meaning you will be taken one subject yang dipanggil software engineering. Okay, that means you want to develop, when you want to develop a software, okay, you have to follow the phases that involved. Okay, because when you go outside to work actually, macam you punya problem to be solved tu bukanlah simple-simple kecil, tapi it's a big problem kan. Usually you will be working in a team, consists of dia ada dia punya apa ni, dia panggil system analyst ke programmer yang buat program, okay, yang analyze, yang akan conduct the apa manager dia, okay, project manager and so forth. Okay, so usually adakah bila dapat problem tu terus saja duduk, okay, assign je programmer. Programmer pun terpinga-pinga nak buat apa kan? Tak ada planning, macam you nak buat rumah lah. Okay, when you want to apa ni, you nak buat rumah, ada kata okay pergi develop terus rumah tu. Adakah apa ni kontraktor tu akan terus develop rumah tu? Dia pun tak tahu bahan apa dia nak beli. Nak rumah tu nak buat rumah kayu ke, rumah batu ke, kan? That means it must go, that means sebelum tu mesti you hire apa ni dia punya apa kita panggil arkitek kan. That means arkitek akan jumpa dulu klien dia. You nak buat rumah macam mana? Apa konsep rumah you? Keluasan tanah. Itu bahagian analisis part lah. That means phase 1 is the analysis. Macam you dapat problem to be solved. Analysis is the first phase that you need to do to trash out apa yang perlu, apa yang diperlukan. Okay, you nak solve this problem. What is the input? Input dia banyak mana? Ada berapa input dia? Apa input yang involved? Jenis apa? Adakah input tu ada, katalah tadi input dia ada 3. So adakah semua integer ke, fundamental data type, ataupun it can be an object. That means analysis is the first part that you have to trash out to make clear what do you want to solve. Kan, you dapat problem tu, you kena identify apa dia input, and then dah ada input, apa output, you nak produce apa. Kan, apa you nak produce. And then the inside of it, from input to get the output, kan dia punya itu design dia lah. That means the second phase tu. That means you nak buat rumah tadi, arkitek tu dah ada idea. Dia dah jumpa klien, dah cakap, klien tu kata saya nak rumah kayu, tak nak rumah batu. Berapa besar keluasan tanah yang ada kan. And then nak buat rumah berapa bilik ke, rumah setingkat ke, 2 tingkat ke, berapa bilik air, semua tu lah, all those things. That means dia kena tahu kan. And then barulah dia buat design the plan of your house tu. Kan selalu dapat arkitek punya plan rumah macam mana kan. Sama juga bila you nak solve problem ni, the design phase is the designing. You macam mana you nak solve that problem? You dah tahu, you dah clear, ini input dia, ini output dia, but how to do it? That means the algorithm dia, design the algorithm, the step by step procedure to to execute that, to get an input, execute. What is the steps that you must take in order to solve that problem to get the correct output. Design. That means you must come out design ni phase dia mesti ada algorithm lah. The algorithm is the step by step procedure, right? The step by step procedure. What is how is it going to be executed? You can represent that. Algorithm can be represented by you boleh buat pseudocode ataupun the flowchart kan, to do the flow lah, the flow of the problem to be solved tu. That is the design part lah. Then only phase 3 ni barulah you punya coding tu. You dah tahu macam mana dia punya step by step algorithm, then baru you buat coding dia. Tak adalah nanti you hantar sebiji-sebiji terus you hantar coding je. Apa benda tu? Tak ada documentation, tak ada explanation, everything. You don't show your how do you get to solve that problem. Adakah you terus saja download je, cari dekat internet. Search kat internet ada tak program yang sama. Kan? You copy je. Bulat-bulat tak. Without understanding it. Without designing, without analyze, design it before you do the coding. Itu bahagian does that answer your question?
Yes, Doktor.
Good. Yang lain? Any other question? Lepas tu, hello?
Dalam apa ni, overload method kan? Saya nak tanya sebab, contoh first argument, parameter dia integer.
Ni yang
kan?
mana tadi? Yang tadi ke?
Ya.
Ini apa method untuk apa? Passing method, passing object as in the method.
Yang overload tu.
Overloading. Overload.
So kalau first tu dia punya argument dia integer. Lepas tu second tu integer string. Tapi integer tu lain variable. Still boleh lah kan? Macam mana nak cakap?
Sekejap, saya tunjuk balik add tadi kan. Contoh tadi kan. Add ni. Okey. Nampak kan? Okey, katalah the first one ni integer, integer, integer. Okey.
Betul. Lepas tu the second one pula integer, lepas tu double.
Boleh?
Tak? Boleh lah.
Boleh
Oh.
aja. Kalau
Okay,
katalah
okay.
uh, okey macam ni, tapi tengoklah dia punya purpose of that method. Ini sebab method ni to add kan. Macam addition selalunya kita add data type yang sama. Tapi katalah kan you tak boleh lah katalah you nak add string dengan double ke string dengan integer ke kan. Sebab nanti result dia jadi apa? That means katalah bukan add lah, katalah contoh method ni method lain kan, bukan addition. Okay, so you can have different parameters tu. Tak semestinya A, B, C ni integer je. Mungkin method tu untuk produce something else. So mungkin dia ada the first one integer, the second one double ke, the third one string ke. Tapi it depends on the purpose of that method lah.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, good. Any more question?
No more.
Okay. Okay, so you have another half an hour until 12 o'clock. You can use the rest of the time to finish up your assignment. So bila assignment tu saya cakap dia punya ni, dia punya due date 22nd November. That means during your semester break lah kan. You ni minggu. Okay, I think let me see. Maybe saya boleh extend sikit lah kot. You all cuti sampai sampai 26 27
Tujuh.
kan? Saya rasa saya bagilah you all masa next week ni. Let me see here. Nanti saya betulkan. Okey, saya bagi sampai 20. Dia punya due date is hari Sabtu tu lah. 26 lah, 26. Okay, so last date 26 At least you ada seminggu lagi lah. Tapi janganlah delay, janganlah you procrastinate lagi. Oh tak apalah, ada lama lagi. Dr. Nur Azhar dah extend. Boleh relax lagi kan. Last minute 25 bulan tu baru you nak start buat. Itu jangan. You start from now. Buat dari sekarang. Try apa dia. Jadi at least sebab nanti saya akan set, you have to submit dalam U-Future tu kan. Saya dah set time tau, ada time dia nanti dekat dalam U-Future tu. So, you must observe time tu. Janganlah, kalau saya tulis 11.59, pukul 11.50, 58, 57 you baru nak submit. Kadang tu time, your time tu tak sama tu dengan time yang ni kan. Jadi, make sure lah, submit lah earlier jangan last minute. Sebab banyak every semester ada je nanti yang cakap nanti tengah malam tu adalah yang WhatsApp saya. Doktor saya tak boleh submit dah tutup. Saya dah bagi masa seminggu lebih 2 minggu kan for you to do it. Takkanlah you nak tunggu pukul 11.57 58 tu you baru nak submit. Okay. So no excuses saya tak akan buat. Saya tak akan buka lagi. Saya akan once dah tutup you tak boleh submit tu so zero lah you dapat nanti. So make sure. Remember assignment ni very important. It carries a lot of points kan for your final grade. So do not procrastinate jangan tangguh. Okay. So ada soalan lain?
Okay.
Ya. Ya Akmal. Okay.
Tak ada soalan doktor. Nak cakap baik je.
Ya, okay. Okay, so good luck everybody. Selamat ni, you all semua dah boleh mengundi Dah daftar kan? Memang dia automatic. Dia automatic daftar sekarang ni. Bukan tak perlu daftar lagi. Dia siapa je dah umur berapa? 20 18 ke 19? Ke 20 tahun boleh mengundi?
18 kot.
18.
Kan? So dia dah dia tarik your data daripada pejabat pendaftaran negara lah kan. So once dia tengok tarikh lahir you, dah cukup umur je, dia terus daftarkan. So pergilah balik mengundi. You all balik-balik kampung masing-masing ke? Ke dah balik?
Betul.
Ke dah balik dah? Ada yang duduk jauh? Paling jauh kat mana? Ada yang balik Sabah Sarawak ke? Tak ada? Ada yang dari Sabah Sarawak balik? Dari Kelantan, dari Kedah, Perlis? Ada? Okay, so whatever. Tapi jangan lupa siapkan assignment. Okay. So kita sudahi dengan tasbih kifarah dan surah wal-as. Asyhadu an la ilaha. Don't forget to take your attendance, please. Saya tak nak lagi tengok ada yang tak ni sebab tak boleh, tak terlupa lah apa. Please take your attendance. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will stop the recording.
Thank you, Doktor.